So I've seen tons of videos out there online of people predicting XRP to go to $100 to $1,000, upwards of even $10,000, which may sound crazy, but in this video, I want to share why everyone is most likely wrong about where XRP will go in price. Even myself. And I have some powerful news to talk about that's taking place right now in the crypto space to protect your fundamental rights for holding Bitcoin, what's happening on the XRP ledger, what the SEC just confirmed that's going live at the end of this month. We're talking about CBDCs over in Russia, what other people have to say in their price predictions for XRP, the truth about one of the biggest banks in the world and the secret ties to XRP, to MasterCard, to SWIFT, and massive banks around the world like Wells Fargo, Bank of Canada, and other major financial institutions that are getting ready for CBDCs in the near future. So I got a jam-packed video for you guys today. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. Comment 777 if you're feeling bullish. And if you're gonna become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So looking at the crypto market right now, Bitcoin is up 6% over the past 24 hours, sitting at 65K. Bitcoin was hovering right around that 60K mark for a while. So it's good to see massive momentum happening in the markets, and we'll explain why this is taking place and what else is happening right now, because looking at XRP, only at 51 cents right now, for XRP to go upwards of, $5 or $10 or even $15 or $20 would require a massive amount of liquidity to flow into XRP and the whole industry alone. And if you guys remember back during the last few bull runs, what happened was XRP was right behind, Ethereum as like the number 3 cryptocurrency in terms of market cap. And the reason why it got pushed down so much, with Solana and BNB passing it, is this whole lawsuit on its back. And so a lot of big investors have been holding back, but at the same time too, smart investors and whales have been accumulating behind the scenes. And slowly but surely, with XRP staying at where it's at right now, it's not going to be there forever, guys. And I'll explain why. And I know you've heard this time and time again, and it can be frustrating because it's kind of like what's the story, the boy who cried wolf, right? It's like there's a wolf in the woods. It's like, yeah, okay, it didn't show up this time. There's a wolf in the woods. It doesn't show up this time. And then the third time that he calls out wolf in the woods, none of the farmers show up to protect the sheep, and then the wolf comes out of the woods and eats the sheep. And then they're like, why didn't you? He's like, I warned you guys about it. It's just that timing wasn't right. That's what's happening with XRP right now, the timing. And so it's frustrating because time is, the thing that nobody likes to wait for, because everyone to an inherent degree is impatient in some level. And so what's happening right now is there were nearly 1 million new crypto tokens created in the last month, a number that is 2x the total number ever made on Ethereum from 2015 to 2023. And so with all these tokens being created, people are just shoving money into anything and everything because they're losing patience in a lot of the projects that they're holding. So they're trying to catch some quick gains. And while it is possible to make money with newer projects, so you're not just sitting on your bags with XRP or something that's not moving, you do want to have a diversified portfolio. And again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are purely for education and informational purposes only. Crypto is very risky. You could lose a lot of money in these markets with newer projects. But if you don't put all your eggs in one basket and you diversify, and certain projects take off first before XRP does, that allows you to hedge and accumulate more large cap projects like XRP or Bitcoin if you want. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're gonna love it. Now, when we launch our crypto education platform to help you guys take your game to the next level, you can plug in the Telegram group below and you'll be updated consistently, because a bill protecting your fundamental rights for holding Bitcoin has been signed into law in the state of Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma will defend your right for self-custody, right to spend Bitcoin and digital assets, right to mine Bitcoin, right to run a node. It will also ban additional taxes when Bitcoin digital assets are used as a form of payment. It will protect the ability to mine Bitcoin at home. It will eliminate the need for Bitcoin mining and digital asset validators to obtain a money transmitter license. So this is big. Now, if you don't hold any Bitcoin, you're like, I don't really care. The reason why we pay attention to Bitcoin is because as bigger and better news comes out for Bitcoin, that's better news for the whole altcoin market, because the massive portfolio capital companies that hold Bitcoin, they hold other top altcoins in their portfolio too. So everything grows together. You know, the sea of liquidity rising means the ships rise with it. So this is just the tipping point, and there's also strategic partnerships happening behind the scenes. You guys saw my video yesterday when I talked about Ripple, hit HBAR, Algorand. Now look at this, Cosmos, which is Atom. They've joined forces to build an XRP Ledger EVM sidechain. The sidechain will be built on EVM OS, a production-ready modular solution that leverages Cosmos, SDK, IBC, and Comet BFT to bring EVM compatibility to Web3 businesses. So as you guys know, Atom or Cosmos is at a $3.2 billion market cap. This project did very well the last bull run. It went upwards of $44 at the all-time high. It's at $8.39 right now. So yeah, it could make a recovery. Although the excitement and the hype right now is on newer projects. This one is number 32 on the list, right next to Kronos, Mantle, Filecoin, Aptos. And then you see HBAR at like 26 and Render at 25. So Atom should do pretty well this bull run. You know, I don't think it's going to do like 100x or 500x, but you know, we might see like 3, 4, 5x gains out of this one. So if it goes back to its all-time high, that'd be roughly right around a 5x. And depending on how much liquidity comes in this market, one thing that I don't really like about Atom that much is the fact that the max supply is infinite though. So there really is no cap, whereas XRP, there's 100 billion. So that's why I'm more bullish on XRP. And also the SEC confirms beginning on May 28th, T1, the new standard for settlement, will go live. And so this year is going to be big for XRP. And if you're wondering what is, you know, T+1 and what does it mean for you? So there's a difference between the date that you trade a security and the date that the transaction settles. And the trade date is the day that you order to buy or sell a security that's executed. And then the settlement date is the day your order is finalized and on which funds and the securities must be delivered. So currently settlement date occurs 2 business days after the trading day, but recent rule amendments from the SEC is going to make that cycle 1 day shorter. So this is essentially a stepping stone for faster settlement, faster transactions, faster everything. That's the direction that we're heading into, is speed. And that's just how society works in every general area, right? As you get older, the speed of your thought process increases from being a baby, not being able to figure everything out. Now as an adult, you can figure things out faster. And so in business, you know, payments are slow right now, 3 to 5 days for ACH or wire transfers. And so Ripple is the company that's working with a lot of these institutions to usher this in, along with other companies as well too. And the SEC nonsense that's going on right now is just a show, and it's really meant to distract people and slow down the adoption so these massive companies can accumulate. Now, for example, a partnership that's been years in the making, a deal in which was negotiated back in 2015 with Amazon.com, holding stake in 5 billion XRP. Currently, the XRP is in a locked account until the partnership is made public. Now, why has this been kept a secret? And so this is very interesting. This was posted by a digital asset investor saying, let me first respond to this by asking you a question. Why does the price of XRP not move when new partnerships are announced? This is a great question. It's frustrating because the answer to the question is that XRP has no use cases currently. This will soon change. When it does, the price will rise quickly. There are very selective when announcing new partnerships publicly. Ripple is. So the answer to the question is in the best interest for everyone involved to keep the price as low as possible, allowing major investors and big institutions to buy in early while the price is low, while they push away new investors from the lower class that they don't want to be a part of the elite club. When the Amazon partnership is announced, the world will be talking about XRP, and millions of people will buy XRP on that day. So this partnership is being saved for a later date. Now, is this true? I don't know. I can't confirm or deny this. But one thing we can do is look at the facts of what's happening and then decipher our own conclusions here. With Iran and Russia, they're locked out of SWIFT for cross-border payments. So as you guys know, when Russia announced that they were entering war with Ukraine, they were sanctioned. And so the United States has been sanctioning countries for trading the US dollar through the petroleum. And so what Russia has been trying to figure out how to do with China, the other BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now Saudi Arabia, is figuring out ways to trade without the dollars, or in euros. Now, Iran confirmed they're working with Russia on their CBDC, tokenized asset for payments. So the dominant currency for Russian cross-border payments has become the Chinese renminbi. And China developed the technology for mBridge, the cross-border CBDC shared platform. Now, mBridge is a project from the Bank for International Settlements, and they've already partnered with Ripple. Now, before I get into this partnership, if you don't know what the Bank for International Settlements is, listen to this.
I always say the BIS is the most important bank in the world that you've almost certainly never heard of.
Known as the central bank for central banks.
The bank was set up in 1930 to manage German reparations payments for the First World War. But those ended by 1932, which meant that the BIS really could have been closed down. The bank was founded by an international treaty, and its assets are legally inviolable. It has a similar privilege to the IMF or the World Bank or an embassy. It's almost extraterritorial.
The BIS was set up in Basel, Switzerland in 1930 to facilitate World War I reparations payments from Germany. It was partly the brainchild of Montague Norman, the Depression-era governor of the Bank of England. Norman, or rather those he was representing, wanted a new bank that would serve as the world's first international financial institution, a meeting place for central bankers, away from the demands of politicians and the prying eyes of nosy journalists. The bankers would bring some much-needed order and coordination to the world financial system. Norman's proposal gained an eager advocate in John Marchant, the Reichsbank president. The Reichsbank was the central bank of the German Reich at the time. Schatz saw the BIS as a way of easing Germany's reparations burden, but it became far more than that. The BIS helped to sell gold seized by the Nazis from occupied nations, and acted as a conduit of hard currency that allowed the Third Reich to buy raw materials throughout the war, to the point where Emil Pull, the Reichsbank vice president, described the BIS as the only real foreign branch of the Reichsbank. The BIS's morally tainted wartime experience almost sank it at the 1944 Bretton Woods Conference, when Treasury Secretary Henry Morgenthau and the lead American delegate to the conference, Harry Dexter White, sought to liquidate it, while setting up the post-war international system dominated by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. However, the BIS's powerful friends intervened to save it. Since then, the BIS has continually reinvented itself.
There was no need for it to exist after German reparations. It should have been closed down after the Second World War for its collaboration with the Nazis. But it's always reinventing itself, and its latest incarnation is very clever. What they've done is using the bank as a place to host a lot of the new architecture of the global financial system, specifically the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision.
In the previous video, we spoke about the petrodollar era and the massive impact this has had on foreign policy. It was the CIA who imported a new leader for the so-called People's Rebellion in Libya. Indeed, Khalifa Haftar had spent the past 20 years living with no known source of income just 5 miles away from the CIA's headquarters in Langley. Oh, what do we have here? Projected President Biden? Wait a minute, what's that in the background? Come on, that has to deserve a like button drone hit. Also, comment below, Rumsfeld or Cheney, who is your favourite war criminal? Cheney expressed great concern in a speech in 1999 that foreign governments were controlling oil. While many regions of the world offer great oil opportunities, the Middle East, with 2/3 of the world's oil and the lowest cost, is still where the prize ultimately lies. Wesley Clark, a former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, claims that in 2001, a general in the Pentagon showed him a piece of paper.
And I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
This agenda fitted perfectly with the famous think tank called the Project for the New American Century. So how is this all relevant to the BIS? Well, the Libyan government controlled more of its oil than any other nation on earth, and it's the type of oil that Europe finds easiest to refine. Okay, that seems incentive enough to impose democracy, so to speak, but there's more. Libya also controlled its own finances. For the 7 countries named by Clark, what did they have in common? None of them were listed among the member banks of the BIS. What about today? Well, naturally the BIS is still preaching about the importance of central bank independence.
Yet central bank's independence is, if anything, needed now more than ever before. Everybody in this room is familiar with the strong historical and theoretical underpinnings of the independence of monetary authorities.
As well as this, they have a new innovation hub incorporating research into central bank digital currencies.
What was the pressure behind trying to create this innovation hub and especially to look at creating a central bank digital currency?
Well, yes, this is really a key development here at the BIS. As you well said, we here at the BIS are the bank of the central banks. We don't not only do banking, but also we do research and we foster collaboration among the members.
The BIS continues to operate with less disclosure than the central banks that make up its executive committee. Its assets are protected against seizure, and its process of establishing capital requirements for banks remains opaque.
The secrecy of the place. You know, every 2 months, the 60 central bankers, the most leading central bankers of the world, such as Ben Bernanke and Mervyn King and Mario Draghi, meet there to talk about, monetary policy and the global financial system. But we don't know anything about those meetings. They don't release any information about them. We don't have an attendance list. We don't know what themes are discussed.
People collect for many different reasons. For some, having matter makes them feel like they matter. For others, it's a case of keeping up with the Joneses, or should I say the hopeless challenge of keeping up with the Devonshires. Many want to be tied through provenance to the illustrious and powerful, and there are those who want to create order and perfection in their collections as a counterbalance to a disordered and chaotic world.
So here's the craziest thing about this, because according to the Bank for International Settlements, the preliminary global results from the 2022 Central Bank Survey of Foreign Exchange and OTC derivatives markets activity shows that trading in foreign exchange markets averages about $7.5 trillion per day in April of 2022. That's 2.1 trillion in spot transactions, 1.2 trillion in outright forwards, 3.8 trillion in foreign exchange swaps, 124 billion in currency swaps, and 304 billion in options and other products. And a big question everyone has is, well, how much will Ripple or XRP facilitate of that? And how much of that will go into, XRP's market cap, or does the market cap even matter? Well, when we look at this report, Ripple is among the members of a cross-border payments task force recently formed by the Bank for International Settlements, and as part of the cross-border payments interoperability and extension task force, Ripple is working with other organizations, including MasterCard and SWIFT, in fulfilling the BIS's goal to enhance cross-border payments and meet the quantitative target for cross-border payments endorsed by the G20. And to that end, the BIS will be working to improve access to payment systems, extending operational hours of payment systems, and creating links between different payment systems. And if we do a little digging here, which I've done for you, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. But on the BIS.org, the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures, this official document that was published back in 2023. So some of these old documents that people just don't read because they're not looking into this stuff that we're finding for you guys and we're exposing. Well, cross-border payments interoperability and extension task force composition. Look at this. You can see the task force members. You can see MasterCard, Payments Canada, Ripple right here, RTGS Global, SWIFT, the Clearinghouse, Bank of China, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Deutsche Bank. I don't know some of these other ones like Makuru, RIA, but Wells Fargo. I'm pretty sure everyone in the United States knows what Wells Fargo is, one of the biggest banks next to Chase. And then some others here that might not be that big, like UK Finance, some small little, mom and pop shops like MasterCard. No one's heard of them, right? So Aaron Sears, the managing director of Ripple, told Payments in an interview posted back in June that nowhere is this truer for what they're doing with the $156 trillion cross-border payments market. So the primary pain points that they're solving as a company are around speed, reliability, transparency, and cost. And if we go to xrpledger.org, they say why developers are choosing the XRP Ledger is publicly decentralized, open source, open to anyone to build on, maintained by the community, low cost, fractions of a penny per second, high performance, thousands of transactions settled in seconds, proven reliability, 10 years of error-free, uninterrupted performance of more than over 63 million ledgers. You guys that are dealing with Solana, Solana has had moments where you can't even transact on the blockchain because it's down. That's the biggest red flag for me, that Solana is like the next Terra Luna that could implode in the future, because if it just goes down randomly, then banks aren't going to want to use that. The only reason why it's being pumped up is by VCs right now that are going to use retail later on in the bull run as exit liquidity. And so if you are going to trade on Solana, yes, you can make a lot of money, but you got to be careful because you got to be aware of when to get in and when to get out of that market and put your money into something that's going to be around for decades to come. And that's why I talk about XRP so much on this channel. But that doesn't mean that you guys should buy any XRP. Do your own research, obviously. You could still lose money in XRP because it's still volatile. But if the IMF or the World Bank or whoever it was is saying that like XRP, XLM is being referred to as stable coins, well, what's their plan in the future for that? Here's another thing that I find very interesting as we uncover what the elite's plan is. There's 3 different video demonstrations of the XRP ledger usage without internet connections. Now I'll bring this back to the Bank for International Settlements on one of the projects they're working on, an explanation of what gives the XRP ledger offline capabilities via Bluetooth, via SMS, text messaging, via satellite, in case there's a potential World War III EMP attack. Listen to this.
One of the big challenges of retail CBDC is to handle peak traffic as well as connectivity breaks or offline BIS. Our offline DLT can enable payment offline, a sandbox with HSBC Bank and 10 finalists for EHKD. A typical retail payment with POS but no internet starts at $37. POS, scan the QR code and receive an XRP check of $2. Now is $35. Pay another $3. It shows $32. As a ledgers on the blockchain cannot be verified offline, double spending cannot be avoided. iBonus's offline DLT uses 2 trusted mechanisms to prevent it. Virtual card digital certificate specifies the initial user account balance. Transaction digital certificate specifies the latest balance attached to the user's offline ledger. In a typical offline transaction, both certificates are sent as a QR code to the POS for verification. If sufficient funds, invoice ID, dollar amount, R address, and the new TDC are sent over Bluetooth, an XRP check signed with the user's private key is sent over Bluetooth to the POS. When the internet is available, checks are submitted to the blockchain. With XRP, we can provide a complete online and offline retail payment system with instant settlement for a market of $2 trillion transaction volume today. This highly secure and trusted system will be widely adopted as the banking industry is converting to ISO 20022.
They send hello Mandla via SMS. They get a response back from the server. They can then check their balance and see the supported assets there. And then here we will send an XRP payment using their X address, which includes their tag. So the system makes use of tags. And then we'll notice here the payment coming through. So they've received that deposit that we've just sent. Now we'll send issued currency. We'll send the full currency. This is an example of how a stablecoin would work. And then we'll see that coming through on the wallet. We have also integrated with a ZAR stablecoin in South Africa, so it works the same way as a full asset. And then now we see how this user is sending XRP to another user. They're sending 3 XRP to a user using their cell number, which is mapped to that user's tag in the back-end server. And you get a confirmation that they've successfully sent that. Then we'll see on user 2, the interface they see, they receive an SMS that, hey, you've received 3 XRP from this user, their cell number and their tag as well. Then they can check their balance, as we've already seen. They get a balance. They've got 0 ZAR and 0 full asset. We'll just top them up here with some, first we update the destination address, which is the user and their tag. We send them some full asset. Again, this is what a stable coin or CBDC would look like. And then we'll see on the wallet, they will get a notification that they received the deposit and the source. Then they check their balance and they can see their balance has increased. So that is the Mandla Money SMS wallet. Thank you for watching this demonstration.
Ripple Mobile is designed to improve CBDC and Ripple accessibility in low-tech markets without internet access. Today I'll go over the different features of Ripple Mobile. Registration. Users can register their numbers with Ripple Mobile by dialing the US. Ripple Mobile is designed to improve CBDC and Ripple accessibility in low-tech markets without internet access. Today I'll go over the different features of Ripple Mobile. Registration. Users can register their numbers with Ripple Mobile by dialing the USSD extension. This works regardless of the phone they use and without internet access. Users are presented with a USSD menu, and once they respond with option 1, they are requested to select a secure 4-digit PIN. Once they put in their 4-digit PIN, the account creation process begins, and once completed, they will receive a welcome SMS with more details of next steps. Check balance. Once a user has been registered, they can dial the USSD extension and will be presented with a menu of different options to choose from. After selecting option 1 for account balance, they are requested to input their PIN for verification. After a few moments, they will retrieve an SMS detailing their account balance. Get account info. Registered users can dial the USSD extension to receive a USSD menu of options. Once Get Account Info is selected, they will input their 4-digit PIN for verification. Once verified, they will retrieve a USSD message displaying their wallet address, balance, and other info. Get Transaction History. And registered users can dial the USSD extension and retrieve a menu of options to choose from. Once Get Transaction History is selected, they will be requested to input their 4-digit PIN for verification. Once verified, they will retrieve an SMS detailing a summary of their transaction history so far. Send XRP. When a user wants to send XRP to another user, they go through the familiar process of dialing the extension. They then select Send XRP from the menu and are requested to input the recipient's mobile number. Then they are requested to put in the amount of XRP they would like to send, and they verify this transaction with a 4-digit PIN. After they have completed that, they will receive an SMS confirming their transaction has been successful or not, and the recipient will also receive an SMS that they have received money in their wallet. That concludes our Ripple Mobile demo.
So I thought this was pretty interesting because a lot of people wonder why the XRP ledger. Well, it has proven reliability with 8+ years of consistent performance with more than 63 million closed ledgers, fast transactions. They settle fast, 3 to 5 seconds, low cost in fees, native support for transaction tags. By making use of XRP Ledger destination tags, Mandala wallet users can send and receive XRP Ledger-based digital assets over SMS using their cell number, which is also what makes offline capabilities possible. Further, the ability to issue assets and set up corresponding trust lines with ease makes issuing various XRP Ledger issued stablecoins from different jurisdictions into the Mandala wallet easier and much more scalable. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because on BIS.org, the Bank for International Settlements that you guys just learned about, basically the bank for all central banks, put out this. It's called Project Polaris offline payments with CBDCs on the 10th of May 2023. And as part of Project Polaris, the BIS Innovation Hub, the Nordic Center, published a comprehensive handbook exploring key aspects to how central banking digital currencies would work for offline payments. And if we go to Project Polaris and we look at this handbook and we scroll down, we just do a Command F function, we type in Ripple, you can see Anthony Ralphs, Director of Product Management, CBDC, at Ripple is listed on here because they're part of the task force. So how much of the $156 trillion cross-border payments market will XRP absorb? I don't know. That's anyone's guess, but listen to what Linda P. Jones has to say about why XRP could potentially hit $10,000.
And when you talk currency, that's literally in the trillions per day, day. So I don't think we can use market cap when we're talking about XRP. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. We need to look at it in terms of currency. Number one. Right. Number two, I think that if you look at the Athey-Mitchnick calculator, which is the calculator that Ripple themselves came up with, and one of those people is over at BlackRock and in digital assets over at BlackRock. Another one, I think the other one is on the board of Ripple, if I'm not mistaken. So they're very involved in the industry still, but they came up with a calculator which looks at how much money flows every day and from how much time in between each flow, and that calculates how much XRP could be worth. Right. Now, you know, Jimmy Valley did a whole study on the values, and so we have a low valuation, we have a very high valuation, we have everything in between. So, you know, it's not for me to say what the ultimate value can be, but I do think it is a matter of how much is flowing on the rails. And the fact that we got news that Ripple was going to offer a stable coin meant that number just got exponentially larger, because stable coins are one of the most important things to move money in. If you think about how you buy crypto now and how, you know, you take it from your bank account usually into a stable coin and then into a crypto, or moving it from one place to another, possibly with a stable coin. It's something we use them all the time, right? So there's going to be a lot more flows because of that. Now, the other thing I want to say is that people have written papers on the fact, at least two people that I know of have written papers on the fact that they believe that XRP was engineered to be $10,000 or more based on how many decimal points it has, how many, the 100 billion that are in existence, the drops, the whole thing. Right. So that's their estimate by their research, and that's a very interesting number. Mm-hmm. I think that is definitely a possibility. That's definitely within the realm of what would make sense. Right. You know, how much money could flow on the XRP ledger. And when Rosie Rios says the train has left the station, I think that means that the financial system is all planned. Everything has to be planned. There's nothing that is taken for granted. There's nothing that happens by chance. When you're talking about money and changing the monetary system, every single thing has to be coordinated, planned. You have dates for things. You have go live schedules. You have all these things with the software and with money flows, and they know exactly when this is going to happen. And I think that it's not a coincidence that the US is the last to bring crypto laws into existence. That's because we have the world's reserve currency, and therefore the other countries are all banding together under the BRICS nations, and they are, you know, getting a currency reset into something of value again and out of fiat, and that will force the largest, the world's reserve currency, to have to do the same thing. So I think it's all planned and it's all scheduled, and we're getting close to the point where it's going to become very obvious, in my opinion.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that's possible? In my thought process, I'd be happy with anywhere between a $5 and $30 XRP. If XRP does what everyone's saying and it goes upwards of $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000, and just like they flip the switch and that happens, well, that's awesome. I'll meet you guys over in, Mykonos. I'll meet you on some cruise ships. I'll meet you on the yachts, and we'll be having a good time. But it's important to set realistic expectations for yourself while also, dreaming for the stars, but having a plan in case it doesn't hit that crazy $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 price point. Because the goal of what they're trying to do is track all of your transactions, track all of your payments, monitor everything, and listen to what the head of the BIS has to say about that.
All our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
So if that's the direction that we're heading, if that's scary to some people of CBDCs, and it kind of takes away the purpose of decentralization where you don't want them to track everything, then you need to have full control over your ability to make money in the markets. And so that's why we're launching our crypto education platform here soon. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.